I do want to check out this video that Mr. Pizza made talking about how he's basically, remaking his entire YouTube channel from the ground up. This is called Why I Privated All the Content. I think he kind of explains his thought process throughout that whole thing.
To restart or to not restart? That is the question. Let's talk, everybody. As you can see, all of the content has been privated. This legitimately came out of nowhere for a lot of people. I don't think anybody was expecting this. Heck, even I myself really wasn't expecting to do it either. I had to do a lot of thinking, and I came to the conclusion that I feel like privating all the content and starting fresh once more is the best route to take.
Now, did he private it or unlist it? I think personally, unlisting the content is better than privating it, because then, especially if you are relatively famous. I mean, he's not like super famous, but he's got like 1.1K subscribers, which is nothing to laugh at or shrug at all. So, I'm sure he had some very wildly, or at least relatively popular videos that people are going to miss. So I feel like putting them in some sort of playlist that's unlisted or something. That's what I would have done if I was in his shoes. But it's his decision to make. He wants to basically reset his channel. So it does make sense to private those videos if you're trying to do a whole clean slate thing.
For this channel. Why do you feel like this is the best route? Heck, why are you doing this in the first place? Well, to understand, I just don't feel proud of the content that I had put out. As I was going through privating all the content, getting ready for this new era, I realized, wow, most of this content that I posted wasn't really good at all.
I kind of feel that.
It could have been executed a lot better for that.
That makes sense. I kind of feel that watching some of my older stuff on the 9 Highlights channel, but I also feel like it kind of shows my progression into kind of how my content got better. So, that doesn't bother me too much, but I see where he's coming from.
And I feel like I'm gonna be a lot more motivated now to actually create good content, because here's the thing. I was obviously breaking away from my past as a creator, moving into a new genre of content, or new genres of content, I should say, to further grow the channel, to get a different audience and everything, and hopefully, discover the fun I once had when I first started this channel. But the more I was going through it, what I thought was good just didn't really turn out as good. I thought what I was putting out was good quality content, but the reality is it was just low effort to maybe mid effort at most, if you really want to give it more credit than it deserves, which is understandable. Because
that makes sense. If I remember correctly, he was doing what is it, YTP reactions, I think, which, to be fair, I am literally doing a reaction right now, but generally speaking, reactions are low effort content to make. So, and I also understand that if you're good enough at something, it's always going to be low effort, but generally speaking, this is low effort content that I'm making. Just any React content is low effort. So it does make sense that he looked at it. He was like, this isn't really artistically rich because it's so low effort. I get that.
Because you have to understand that I've always been more of a simple-minded creator, I feel like. When I originally started this channel, it was just the most basic, cringe content that every creator puts out when they first start YouTube. I was just like everybody else who first started. Then, over time, I transitioned into a YTP reactor, and all the content was just so simple. The cringe content was simple. There was no editing whatsoever to that. The YTP reactions is where I kind of did a little bit more editing, but I never did any more editing than I had to. The way I saw it was, it's just a reaction video, therefore it doesn't need that much editing to be good. It's just a reaction. Your reaction should be what carries it. And to an extent, that's true. Obviously, your reaction.
Yeah, no, I think that actually kind of makes sense. Because I sent, you guys remember Craig from the Craig Cam? A couple weeks ago, I sent him a link to one of my videos on the 9 Highlights channel, because it was a video where I was talking about some sort of political topic that we were talking about in Instagram DMs. And he was like, yeah, this is cool and easy to listen to. You have the whole, live streaming tone down pat. And I really like how there's minimal editing. I think that people are honestly more tired of that sort of, that crackhead, Jake and Logan Paul, Mr. Beast style of editing than especially us as content creators, give like YouTube viewers credit for. Like, I think people are kind of tired of that. And you can also see, with the explosion of podcasts on YouTube, whether that's like H3H3, Joe Rogan, Impulsive, all of these podcasts, like Iced Coffee Hour, Valuetainment's podcasts, like even whatever, right? And all these like Red Pill podcasts. With these podcasts, they're not heavily edited. They upload clips that are still completely unedited, basically. And I think that shows that if you're talking about something interesting, or if you have an interesting personality, or if you have an interesting point to make, then it doesn't matter how much editing you have. Your content or your character or your style and personality will carry. So I actually do feel like, you don't need to have more than minimal editing if the content in your original video is good enough. But that's just me, right? I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, if you have a bunch of fancy editing, then it makes the video really good. I mean, I disagree. People are going to have their own opinions, but I just personally think that people are kind of yearning for a more raw version of YouTube where the content just feels more honest, more free-flowing, and less like it's like designed for like a 3-year-old iPad kid, if that makes sense.
Should carry most of the video to make it good. But there are times where you do need to put in editing effort to further enhance that and give the idea that it's better, to give it that more edge, that more quality to it than it really needs. Eventually, though, I feel like it was around the end of the YTP reaction era, I believe, where I tried going more editing route. I made the editing flashier, I tried to improve upon the content, and I did that for a while. And my audience retention was better, the click-through rates were better because the thumbnails were better, so it was improving for the time being. But I eventually just stopped doing that because, one, it took too much time to actually process and do, which meant less content for me. Because
that'll do it. Because the reason why, like, I have a Not Newbie Highlights channel where I upload clips from my streams, where every like noon on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and one reason why I have that workflow is because I know that for the types of videos that I edit that will go live on the channel, I will have the time to edit all those out. I think I mentioned in the Discord, I have like ideas to launch other channels, but I just don't have the time to do it with the content that I'm outputting right now. And it'll take a lot of like research, and I'm not going to be able to like upload things on a rigid schedule, which is completely fine. If you want to make extremely high quality content, you can't really put yourself on some sort of schedule, because either the content quality will suffer, or you'll get burnt out, or you'll have to kill or harm some other aspect of your life, which, neither of those things are optimal. So I completely understand why, he started lagging a bit on his uploads, because he wanted to make sure that each video was of higher quality when he did go out and push it out. But I feel like for like a reaction type lane, the audience won't wait for you as much. Like if you lag behind, people are just gonna go look at other people reacting to the same thing that you reacted to, unless you're reacting to something that's unique, which is certainly possible. But if what he's going to say is that this harmed his channel, I completely understand why, because unfortunately a lot of us React content creators are disposable. Like you could just swap them in and out for each other, and it's not like it's going to be exactly the same, but viewers going to be like, okay, that person isn't reacting to stuff anymore, so I'll go watch this other person react to the same thing, and I'll keep on watching that person react to the same thing because he was reacting to the thing that I wanted to see a reaction for anyways. So I'm good, I'm happy with this person. So yeah,
I was very consistent at that time, and it felt like such a time waster to put so much editing in. So I stopped doing that. And then obviously the audience retention, everything else took another hit from that when I stopped going that more editing route. And then it was at that time where I just kind of stopped caring about the editing and went back to the old simple ways yet again.
Nice.
Which in hindsight wasn't the best idea, because I should have known that, okay, sure, the more editing takes more time, but you're doing so much better now than you were before. And when I left YTP Reactions, I should have transitioned that more advanced editing that I started putting towards the end of YTP Reactions into the newer content, and I feel like I would have done a lot better. Heck, I probably would have grown more had I just stuck with the more
True.
advanced editing.
But I remember talking to him, and he did say that, you know, once he hit 1,000 subscribers, he didn't feel as motivated to do YouTube content anymore. So I could also see why that would also affect the level of effort that he put into his content, because he's like, well, I hit 1K, I did my goal. And so I could see why he might not care as much about future growth. While he, you know, he has a good point that he could grow more, but, you know, at that point, when he hit that 1K, he might not have really cared, you know, anymore about making his channel grow further.
Because the content was a lot better, and it felt like, hey, this is actually a quality video here. But I just went simple again, because I just didn't want to spend so much extra time on something, which is something that a content creator, whether hobbyist or not, should never do. You should always give forth your best effort when you're creating a video, because you want it to be good.
I will say that, like, if you're gonna burn yourself out, or, you know, force yourself to lose sleep, or sacrifice time that you should be putting towards, like, your job or your family, then no, you need to put the content creation on the altar of all of that. I mean, not altar, because I don't want to, you know, put forth some like idolatrous messaging, but content creation should not be so high up that you're sacrificing literally anything else, like your mental well-being, caring for your family, spending time with friends, to, you know, make some YouTube video. Just in my opinion, that trade-off is not worth it. There's not enough of a benefit there.
You want to present something to your audience that they will enjoy. And if it's just boring because there's nothing to it, then it's just like, okay, I don't care about this video. I don't even care about this channel anymore. But I'm here to change that. This is 2024. This is a new era of the channel, a new phase. From now on, any type of video that I release is going to be higher quality content. I'm not necessarily saying every video is going to be like a Liberator video where it's super, super flashy.
Right.
But I'm just saying there's going to be a lot more effort into the content. As you can tell with this video right now, even I'm going the extra step to put in extra stuff to this video that I would have never done before. Yeah. But now I'm doing, because now I...
Like, are you talking about the bokeh effect? Like, that's completely new. I did not notice that before in your earlier videos.
I care about the quality of the content, and the new audience that I'm seeking, I want them to be able to see that, yes, this is a good creator right here. He puts effort into his content. He actually cares. That's what I'm going for. So, regarding how... That's
cool. Like, it's really good to have some sort of thesis statement about why you're making the content that you want to. My thesis is basically, I want to have fun making content. I want to share my political views, and I want to basically have a historical record of every single gaming moment that I do in my life, more or less. So, you know, it's his ethos, I think, is what will lead to probably a more successful channel than mine. And I think that over the lifespan, you've kind of seen that, you know, go forth. But it is really cool that moving forward, he has a completely different thesis statement than before. Before it was, I want to get 1,000 subscribers. He did that. Now what? He had to go and come up with a completely different motivation to move forward, because otherwise he would have just quit making content again. So it is really good that he kind of gave himself much needed purpose to keep him driven and to keep him pushing forward.
How many uploads we're going to be doing from now on, honestly, I don't know. Because if I'm focusing on quality over quantity, obviously videos are going to be less frequent. So you might be saying, like, isn't that just inconsistency once more? That's a fair point, I'll give you that. But there's a difference when you're inconsistent with quantity content and quality content. If you're being inconsistent with something like quantity content, you know, it's just a lot different. It feels like not even an excuse at that point. But being more inconsistent with the quality content is understandable, because when people go to your channel, they're gonna see, like, okay, he doesn't upload a lot, but they're interested, so they click on a video and they see how much...
literally my favorite YouTube channel was like that. My favorite YouTube channel, I don't know if they're my favorite anymore because they haven't uploaded in like 3-4 years, because they basically got shut down because YouTube censored them and demonetized them, so they couldn't make money off the content that they were making. But 1791L, well, they, towards the end of their run, they just changed their name to 1791, but they were by far my favorite YouTube channel. They actually have a Gumroad where you could buy a back catalog of all their stuff. I went and bought that. That's how big of a fan I am of 1791. I am salty that I never had enough money to buy their merch. I wish that they like relisted their merch, or I could reach out to them and, you know, just give them like $200 and I could have like 2 pieces of merch that they had in a warehouse somewhere. Just like their videos were insane. If you want an idea of what 1791 videos are like, either go watch a 1791 video or watch a Hoog video. He's basically Hoog, but about like American politics from an unconventional perspective. It was so cool. The video content was just like so high quality. They did a lot of research for their videos. The graphics are super fancy and sexy. Like it's like Vox videos on steroids. It was so good. And they would upload like once every like 3 to 6 months. But I would watch every single one of their videos like it was a new episode of a hit TV show because their videos were so interesting and so high quality. So Mr. Pizza is absolutely on the right track here when he's like, I want to make videos so good that people will wait months in order to check out my content, because that is one way that you can build a loyal fan base as well. It's also a good way you can build up views on videos, by the way, too, because you've built up anticipation. So when you do release a video, more people are likely to watch it. So that also is a factor.
Editing is put into it, and then they're just like, okay, now I see why he doesn't upload as much as, you know, most creators do, because he's actually working hard on a video. That's what I want to create. As for the types of content we create is going to vary like usual. We're going to go into stuff like gaming stuff, because that's a lot of fun to make. We'll even still do reaction videos from time to time, and yeah, the other types of content, you'll just have to wait and see what we got for you. Anyway, I've been Mr. Pizza. I will see you all soon with banger content. Reese's Pieces.
Very cool, very cool. How did this fan? Oh, it just has one comment, but it says, "Looking forward to the new stuff. Cheers." That's cool. That's cool, man. So I will eventually be doing an interview with him, so stay tuned to check my channels for that video. But this is really interesting. I'm really excited to see where he goes with this, because I think that this could launch him to a completely new trajectory of success on YouTube. And I think this could end up being very beneficial in the long run if he stays with it and if he learns all the skills that he needs in order to make the quality of content high enough to get the viewers that he's looking for. Very, very cool.